Hello, and welcome back to the Cinema Scrutiny Podcast, the podcast where we take you through all the TV, film, and streaming information you need to know about on a weekly basis. I am John, and I am joined, as always, for the 13th time, spooky season, Billy.
Hello, we're back. We're deep in spooky season. Like in mid-October.
Balls deep. I wasn't going to say it, and then I started laughing about it, and I'm like, yeah, I got to say that. It is also, for my extra spooky people, Columbus Day, which not the best person, but if you're working out there and you have the day off, enjoy it because you deserve it.
That's right.
Yeah, forget about the dude. Just it's your day off. Just
don't think about it.
Yeah, don't let him take it.
Accept the day. You know,
take the win. Take what you can get. Yeah, I went to the post office this morning. They were closed because I forgot.
It's a national holiday.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're unemployed, am I right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I feel that.
Well, despite our unemployment, we still have a lot of stuff to get through. Still got a lot of work. So I think we should just...
The grind doesn't stop for Cinema Scrutiny, okay?
No, it does not.
We're a podcast, and Columbus Day does not apply to us.
Hopefully you guys can... But... Yeah. I mean, hopefully you can guys enjoy this on your day off.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
All right, let's just jump into it. We got some good news. I think it's all good news this week. Yeah, it is.
I would say so.
Yeah. I believe there was a cancellation of something, but I didn't write it down.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because those are just depressing. I mean, like, what is a week in 2020 without a movie pushback or a cancellation?
That's right. I feel like we hit that rock pretty hard last week, and it kind of bounced back this week a little bit. We got some good news on upcoming stuff, so that's always fun.
All right, we should just jump into it. So that's what we're gonna do. All right. And our first story is for the Star Trek lovers out there, which I feel like sometimes is just me, and that is that Kate Mulgrew, who played Captain Catherine Janeway on Star Trek Voyager in the 90s, is set to return in the new Nickelodeon animated series Star Trek Prodigy.
Yes.
So I am very excited. If anybody, if we're talking, I was just thinking about this before the show. Like, if we're talking shared cinematic universes, Star Trek is the longest running, deepest cinematic universe that you can find out there.
That's probably true.
I mean, canon starts in 1964, 1966, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's still going. And Kirk is every single episode, even the unaired pilot from the original show, is still canon.
Yeah.
And it's just good stuff.
They never even rebooted with the Abrams stuff. When the Abrams movies came out, they didn't even say we're rebooting. They're just like, nope, this is still it. Or just doing something else.
Yeah, super crazy timeline shenanigans, alternate reality, but still canon.
Yeah, Star Trek is nuts.
Yeah.
And this news is pretty crazy because I think it kind of reinforces, how you just said, I feel like no one's checking for Star Trek but me. But, the Star Trek fans are in it.
Oh, yeah.
They're always waiting and they're always there. But I think what's even crazier about Star Trek is that everybody who's been on a Star Trek show or a previous actor, they're always down to come back, and this proves that. It's pretty crazy that they're even the actors are dedicated to the projects. It's really sick.
I know that Voyager was, when we're talking about the Next Generation era of Star Trek, which is Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and the Next Generation. This is usually looked down on as the worst of the three, which is
Voyager.
Unfortunate. Yeah, Voyager, because it is not the best, but it's a good show sometimes. and it's not a problem with the characters; it's just with the writing. But I think that Janeway is a very iconic captain, and I think that Kate really likes the role a lot. And I'm just really excited to see her reprise it. It's been 25 years, I think. I'm trying to remember when exactly the show ends. Yeah. And I don't even, we don't know yet if she's going to have just not like a cameo, but recurring small role where she only shows up once every couple episodes, or if she's going to be an actual like mainstay character. Yeah, it's just crazy. And also, this also helps us put it in the timeline, I guess, because after she comes back from Voyager, she becomes an admiral because just passage of time in general. So it's kind of cool to see that she's actually back in the captain's chair and doing something.
Yeah, it should be really interesting, and it's cool that it's on it's like an animated thing. Mm-hmm. So like, I mean, even if it's set like in the past, it could be like her younger self,
Yeah, that would look awesome. Damn.
But yeah, it's gonna be cool.
I'm really excited. Honestly, it's a great. Okay, so it's a great time to be a Star Trek fan if you still are open to new things, because like the older fans absolutely fucking hate what they've done with Star Trek, but if you enjoy like Picard or Discovery, like I think you're gonna love this, right? And Discovery season 3 starts Thursday.
I was just about to say, doesn't it start this week? Like the new Discovery.
And then Star Trek. Oh my god, I don't even remember what the animated series is called. Lower Decks. Star Trek Lower Decks just wrapped, I think, their season finale, their first season, and I heard it was incredibly good. Like it's very well written and funny.
I think that's been the case for all the newer Star Trek stuff. Like I really liked Discovery when I was watching it, and then Picard was great.
Yeah,
and like all of their new content has just been really good. Like even if you're not like, and I'm not a hardcore Star Trek fan, John can attest to this. Like John has seen all of everything
multiple times.
So
I've tried
times
to get you into it.
It's hard. It's a lot of content.
Yeah.
Now I'm in Miss Maisel. It's like I have to take my content in cycles, but I like the Next Generation a lot. That's probably my favorite that I've seen out of everything. Yeah, which I guess is like a really like basic thing to say, but like there's really good, like Star Trek has a really good stuff, like really really cool story shit, and just like the underlying tone and messages of like all the episodes. It's like it's cool shit, like, and it is exciting to see like reoccurring like actors come back and reprise their role, and like the story just continues to continue. Like there's just like respect, like universal respect.
The shows that run like Next Generation through Voyager all the way from, I believe it's like it's pretty much the entire 90s. It's just like, it's almost a decade of just continual storytelling that all evolves on itself, and it's just epic.
Yeah.
It's, if anyone has time to watch all of them, I recommend watching all of them. I have a curated list of like taking out the filler episodes. It cuts like I think 35% of the entire series. If anybody wants that, just send us an email. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited. I recommend it. I really want to watch Lower Decks. It has it has Jack Quaid, who's the main character in The Boys, Huey.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like one of the main characters on the new show. So
he
that's
would
really
be in
exciting.
Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean he's got a cool. I think he actually, for all that he is, I think he actually does have an iconic voice that would translate really well.
He does have a good voice.
Yeah.
And if he played it if it wasn't an animated thing, I feel like I could definitely see him in like a Star Trek uniform.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
So that is cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you like Star Trek, good time to be alive. Really excited for Discovery season 3.
What a time.
Yeah. But if you're not a Star Trek fan, we have other news for you, probably something that you would enjoy. In the opposite realm, the Star Wars realm.
Plenty to go around.
Yeah, so we're going to jump into that really quick. And this is rather a quick update. But we have, for The Mandalorian Season 2, which debuts at the end of the month, all of the writers for each episode have been revealed. And surprise, surprise, it is basically just Jon Favreau.
It's Jon Favreau on, what is this, like 6 of the 8 episodes? Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like? Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like, when they shared this, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, who's writing? And then you scroll down, you're like, John.
Yeah.
It's John, and then Dave Filoni's got an episode.
I love that.
He deserves it, He better be writing at least one of them. But and then there's an episode that Rick, I'm gonna botch his last name.
Give it a try.
Famuyiwa.
I think probably.
Famuyiwa? I don't know. But he was initially this is the guy who he was gonna do the Flash movie.
Hmm.
Um, and then he dropped out. He was one of the directors that dropped out. But he
Okay,
was I think
cool.
he was signed on the longest before dropping out. And then they announced that he was working on a Mandalorian episode soon
Gotcha,
after that.
gotcha. Yeah, I had no idea who this guy was. I was gonna just look him up, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
He he's done something. He's done other stuff too. Obviously, like he's worked on a lot of independent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Apparently, he
apparently
also is
he's really good.
directing an episode, I believe. I'm looking.
Yeah, I think it's probably the one that he wrote.
Yeah, I'm looking through
Um,
his filmography right now on IMDb.
did he make Dope? That
Yes, he is a writer and director, I believe.
yeah, I love that movie. It's
Mm.
really good. Yeah. So Mandalorian season 2, kind of the same. It's basically the same team for the most part. I mean, if anything, I feel like they gave John Favreau like more like creative power.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like he
Because
really
I
took
feel like he
control.
wrote less in the last season.
Yeah, I
I
can't
don't know.
remember if it was less writers or if it was the directors were so varied. And I'm just
Yeah,
like thinking about it separately. But either way, this is just great to see. I think that John Favreau and Dave Filoni, they really have what's best at heart in mind for the entire Star Wars universe.
definitely.
So I'm just glad to see them kind of securing control of what's going on.
Yeah, I trust John Favreau and I absolutely trust Dave Filoni. So
Yeah. So yeah,
there's
that's just
there's not many too many better people to put this in the hands of. So
yeah, I agree. And there's really
we'll
not much
see.
else to say on it. It's coming out soon. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with that rumor of like the plot shifting like halfway through and like
Yeah.
the series taking a turn for other characters. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it could be. I think it'll be fine if
Yeah.
we see all these. It's just really John and Dave working on it. So
Yeah, I'm also excited to see what happens or just with other people. I know that Disney Plus just added a like watch along feature
oh
for I
yeah,
believe
we're
all their
really watching it together.
systems. So
Yeah.
yeah, so everyone at home can be watching with their friends and having a great time. But in the
Hmm.
meantime, we got a couple other things to get through, and another Disney Plus thing that you can watch later this year. The
Hmm.
Pixar movie Soul is going straight to streaming starting December 25th for free.
Yes, this is good news.
It's good news for us. It is bad news for
News
theaters.
for yeah, that's true. I mean, it's good news because it's new content for us.
Hmm.
But also like this movie looked really good.
Yeah, I
Like in the
agree.
trailers leading up to it, like there was I feel like there was a lot of good hype around this.
Yeah, it has me
Um,
really interested as to why they would choose to just make this one free instead of cost money like say Mulan.
yeah, I that's a good question. I don't know because I feel like animation it takes a lot longer. Maybe I don't.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like there's more money to lose in animation. I feel like you're paying more people for longer, but I
Yeah.
don't I don't know exactly, but I agree. It is interesting. There's no paywall behind this one.
Yeah, I mean maybe it's the backlash off of having Mulan cost so much money. Maybe they're just trying to get
Yeah,
more people to sign up for the service going into Christmas.
that's true too.
Yeah, I just don't know.
This is
I
a
mean, I'm
Pixar movie
excited.
too, isn't it?
It is.
This is
Yeah.
the newest Pixar movie. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's huge.
Yeah, it's
Like,
big money. Like they are definitely taking a huge L. I mean, you could probably, especially having it on Christmas, I feel like you could probably recoup it with streamings pretty quickly. I feel like you get a lot of new subscribers, get the $7 sub, and then just kind of forget about it going into the holidays.
yeah, and there's plenty of people who will have like a lot of free time around that time to watch. So
Yeah, and also I mean, for even some Catholics and especially non-Catholics, going to the movies on Christmas is like a huge thing.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah, like the movie theater, it's very quiet in the morning working it because I've worked Christmas before,
yeah,
and then like it really ramps up at night. And not
yeah. People go out.
yeah, not necessarily like selling out like crazy, but like it's pretty packed on a Christmas
Yeah,
Eve, a Christmas
it's
night.
a busier day than average. I
Yeah,
guess you could say.
yeah,
Yeah,
very interesting. I don't know. I'm excited. Like you said, I think this movie looked great. Like the trailers look awesome. Really excited to see where it goes. Yeah.
It'll be the next Pixar tearjerker movie.
Yeah, I don't even know. It reminds me a lot of like Inside Out, and I love that's probably one of my
Yeah,
favorite Pixar movies.
yeah.
Yeah,
Pixar doesn't really miss for me. They're great.
yeah. I
So,
mean, what about that Good Dinosaur? Hmm?
well, I'll tell you this, John. I didn't see
Yeah, look at
it, so I
that.
can't say they
They
missed.
can't miss if I don't watch it.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
fucking right.
that movie was weird as fuck. Like I haven't seen it in a while, so like my theory is no longer like I don't have enough evidence to defend it. But I saw it and I walked right out of that movie, and I was just like, that was just the Lion King, but with dinosaurs. And like it just it made so much sense in my mind. But like, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. Hopefully somebody remembers the movies better than I do, because Good Dinosaur, unfortunately, forgettable.
yeah.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
All right, let's jump out of this, because even though this is super exciting, we actually have. I think these next three stories are very exciting.
Big
So yeah,
hot stories here.
so jumping into the next story. So Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins, the famed Wonder Woman duo,
Yep.
are teaming back up to do a Cleopatra film, which is gonna
Yes.
be sick.
It does sound sick.
Yeah.
And I think okay, so obviously it's the Wonder Woman duo, Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot.
Hmm.
Uh, do you think that this is gonna be too similar to Wonder Woman, or
No, you have no, no, absolutely not.
you don't think so at all? They're not gonna pull any of the cards from Wonder Woman that they're gonna play here.
No, because Cleopatra doesn't. She don't roll like that.
Well, I guess yeah, she's not really Wonder Woman. I think Cleopatra. I think is a really fucking. I honestly like. I'm sure that they made it like a package deal with Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins, but like,
Mm.
I feel like if you were gonna cast for Cleopatra, I think Gal Gadot's a great casting choice.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's a brilliant casting choice.
I
She got
think she's
that.
like the perfect actress for it, and
Yeah,
she's also isn't she from the Middle East too?
she's from Israel.
Yeah, so perfect. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, Queen of the
I, s-
Nile energy.
I saw some people complaining that like about like her race and about how like she's too much of like a white woman to be cast for the role, but it's like isn't she from the Middle East? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I don't have enough historical background to like determine the color.
Neither do I.
Because I
And
mean,
I
every
just
I mean, this is just getting like anecdotal, but like Egyptian uh, skin color is usually kind of like it's like a tan. It's not necessarily like straight like black
yeah
like the rest of Africa.
yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like I mean Cleopatra's obviously. I'm just gonna Google right now. She's obviously normally portrayed with that more like tan skin color, somewhat
Yeah.
white, somewhat tan, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. And then so like anyway, without getting too much into the race bait,
Yeah.
I just think like yeah, I think if we're talking like if I think Cleopatra, I think brilliant mastermind of the Romans. Like she gets Caesar, she gets Mark Antony, she secures all of Egypt, she becomes queen of basically the Mediterranean. Like she's a badass and she's hot as fuck. Those are like the two
Yeah.
things I know.
No, she's fucking awesome. Like, and I think they say it's gonna be like an epic and
Yeah.
also like a biopic at the same time. So like, this could be real fucking sick. Like,
Yeah, I mean, remembering so obviously historical context of cinema now. The original Cleopatra film in the I believe the 60s, no, probably not, the 40s maybe. The 40s or
yeah,
the 50s was like at the time the most expensive film ever created. I believe it also was it Cleopatra that had the most people on screen or like the most
it
extras?
was the 1963 film.
Yeah.
And I've definitely seen. I'm pretty sure I've seen pictures from this.
Yeah,
Or
it's
no,
definitely
maybe.
infamous in Hollywood. It went way over budget. It went through several rewrites and several other, several director changes. The whole cast changed at one point, and then it went on
Yeah,
to win. I think 9 Oscars.
I think if this is the one that I'm thinking of, it's like got like massive sets, like huge,
Yeah, yeah,
insane sets, like. like at the time, like people saw this, they're like, how the fuck did they fit all this shit into like one shot?
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
blew the budget.
yeah, they blew the budget like insane, but like really cool movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen the whole thing, but I've seen like I remember I've seen like scenes,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen like a ton of stills from it from like when I was in film school and stuff. But
Yeah, and I don't know. This whole thing's great. Like I love Patty Jenkins' work. Love Gal Gadot's work. I love
yep,
the story of Cleopatra. If you guys don't know it, there is a I believe Extra History on YouTube is currently doing a series on Cleopatra. They're on episode 3 right now. It's
yeah,
great stuff. Like she is just a badass manipulating men of power to gain more power. Like you think fucking
that's
Caesar was in control? No, he was not.
Cleopatra was in control.
Yeah, like she's fucking sick. Like she's like a party animal, monster ruler. It's awesome.
Yeah, but she's also just fucking like smart as hell and like powerful, like
Yeah,
her own leader. Like it's fucking. I think, and like circling back, I think Gal Gadot's built for this role.
yeah.
Like
She got the
just
power.
she does, and like I just think that like they're definitely gonna give her like some like elegant fucking outfits and like queen shit, you know? Like
Yeah, this movie's gonna be definitely over the top.
she's
just
gonna
like the
be
first
flexing, over the top flexing. I just see it coming. Like it's gonna be sick.
one.
So that was this came out like I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yesterday.
Yeah, it was trending for like more than half the day. So I think this is gonna, garner some hype once the trailer drops. It already has its own little hype train behind it.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I think it's gonna be a few years because I mean the way they're making this seem is like they just got the official like auction just to do the film. You know what I mean?
yeah, so they just got publishing from Paramount secured. So
Yeah. Also, just reading into the article a little bit, the auction came down to Universal, Warner Brothers, Netflix, and Apple, based on what the Mike Fleming Jr. heard from Deadline.
Right.
Thank God none of those got it.
yeah,
Like,
seriously.
as much as I love Netflix film, this Netflix would kill this, like in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like it would just go to die at Netflix. Like Apple, are you kidding me? Anything that's on Apple TV is there because it's gonna die.
Yeah, I think Apple's like really like. I think Apple's trying to rally for something big, something they could draw people in with.
Yeah, but like I don't want to get an Apple subscription. I don't want to buy an Apple TV box.
I agree.
Like
I'm with that.
I just don't want it. It's stupid. But anyway.
Yeah.
So when this movie comes out in probably like 10 years after they film the whole thing, and it's like $1 billion just to make, and it's gonna be sick. Very
Hype.
excited. Yeah.
Big hype, and we'll be covering that.
Of course. And while we are waiting for the next 5 years, I guess we could talk about something that's coming out in the next 2 years.
Holy.
And this is probably our favorite news of the week, I think. And this was like right at the beginning of the week too. And this is Benedict Cumberbatch joins Spider-Man 3 as Doctor Strange.
Oh my god. This MCU developing story that's been happening over the past 4 weeks has been
wild.
sick.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He's fucking showing up, dude. Fucking pizza time.
Yeah. Big facts, it's pizza time.
Pizza time. Let's go.
God, dude. I think like especially like 2 weeks ago, we're trying to recast Doctor Strange. We're like, well, Sam Raimi's in it. What if like Tobey Maguire showed up there? And then they're like, you know what? Tobey Maguire's going to show up in this movie. It's Spider-Man 3. Like now there's no doubt in my mind that we're going full live action Spider-Verse.
We're going
Easy.
Spider-Verse, Multiverse. Oh my lord. Tobey Maguire may have already received a phone call. We don't know.
God. Oh yeah.
But I would be willing, I would say there is at least a 30% chance he's gotten a phone call from someone who's like, you want to get back in the suit?
Yeah, I know. The rumor is that, and I don't know the actors' names, so I'm going to botch it. But the dude who originally plays, what's the guy's name? Is it Harry? Harry Osborn? Yeah.
James Franco.
No, that's the Amazing Spider-Man. No, wait, that is that. Huh.
That's the
Who
original.
am I thinking of?
Yeah.
I know whoever's playing Mary Jane is coming back. That's a rumor. And then somebody else is also coming back.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What's her name? Kristen Dunst.
Yes. Or
She played
Kirsten.
Mary Jane.
Kristen.
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten, yeah. All right, hold up. I'm gonna try to find the article, but you just talk about how excited you are about Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, it's it's great news. This is basically gonna lay out how Electro's coming back. You know, Doctor Strange will be right there, probably to portal him in. If that's the case, I don't know. But also, okay, so this is big hype, right? Doctor Strange is in it, but I don't think it'll be a super extensive role. I'll say that.
Sure.
I think he will be there for exposition, for
No.
you know, place multiverse theory here.
Yeah.
You know,
All right, I figured it out. Hold up. So they want Kirsten Dunst back, and they want Dane DeHaan back, who played Harry Osborn in The Amazing Spider-Man.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the original Mary Jane, and then the second Harry Osborn.
Okay. They want them both in this?
It just says that there's a rumor they both want them back for future MCU films.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And like that's crazy. And this is crazy.
What are they doing? This is nuts. What are they doing?
Yeah. I mean,
like I can't even fathom what they're trying to do with this. Like what is the plot? You know?
I don't know. I mean, based on I think I said it maybe last week or the week before, but a rumor I was reading was that Wanda opens up the multiverse in WandaVision. Spider-Man has to deal with that in Spider-Man 3, and then Doctor Strange closes it in Doctor Strange 2.
In Doctor Strange 2.
Or like he fixes it, rather. Because I doubt they would ever like close it. But hearing this, it basically confirms that for me. And I think that especially if they get Kirsten Dunst, then I think they get Tobey Maguire. I think they bring them both in, package deal, push them through the multiverse.
That'd be nuts.
And then we're talking about obviously getting the Sinister Six together for this film. I think you just throw you throw Harry Osborn straight through the portal, and you just Green Goblin, bam!
Oh my god,
did it?
The fucking, he's like an infected Green Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh
Lord.
Like,
and now especially like Marvel is like, yeah, we'll do this. Like we get to put our guy Doctor Strange in, we get to make money.
Yep.
And then Sony gets to freaking pack their universe. You know, they're like, hey, if you like Spider-Man, like fucking love some Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like you get everything. Everything exists now.
Yeah,
it's like,
and then honestly,
shit.
If I were them, I would test the waters and I'd be like, oh, you guys like seeing Andrew Garfield back in the suit? What if we made like an older Spider-Man film in like an alternate universe and like he came back? You know what I mean? Like I feel like Tobey might be a little too old to do like a Spider-Man 4, or like he just might not want to. But I feel like Andrew Garfield would do it.
Oh, I feel like Andrew Garfield would do it immediately.
Yeah. How dude?
Sure.
Get Emma Stone's corpse back in there.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Bring her back before she dies.
That would be honestly.
Be pretty sick.
You know,
I like Emma Stone.
Oh, it'd be such a good Spider-Gwen movie. Oh my god.
Yeah, it would. That's true.
I feel like she's I don't want to say she's evolved. I feel, you know what I mean, like 'cause she's become like an Oscar-winning, like a big, fancy actor.
Yeah.
I feel like she would still do it. I don't know. I would hope she would still do it. I feel like it'd be sick.
You know, I all this multiverse talk has got my mind thinking the past few days, and I'm like, you know what? You know, if we're going off the theory of like Wanda breaks open the multiverse and like the Spider-Verse is basically happening first, you know, off principle of the release schedule. But what if they cross over the X-Men through this like multiverse break, and then all of a sudden all of the X-Men shit is canon, but it's just a different universe, and that's how mutants show up in the MCU because the multiverse gets ripped open and now there's mutants. That'd be fucking crazy.
That would be. I don't know which X-Men universe they rip open, because some of those,
because there's like fucking 3 of them,
and some of them genuinely suck.
Yeah, some of them are bad.
Like, you know what I mean? And I like the idea. I think that's something like we're always trying to talk about, like how do we get the mutants back? It's like, oh, maybe like some of the snap people have snap powers, or like maybe mutants just come from like some kind of gas, or like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like that would be cool. Like if the multiverse rips open and like just the fabric of space is bending and these people are getting powers.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Could be more government stuff like they did with when they turned Wolverine into the adamantium.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, like, Ross makes Wolverine. That'd be crazy.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Because I agree that would be cool. I don't know who would reprise their role from those movies to do that.
I feel like if you called Hugh Jackman, I feel like he'd do it. Even
No,
though he
he's
retired,
so
I know
done.
if he did it, if this was like an Avengers movie, and they were like, we're introducing the X-Men in this movie, and we're gonna bring it back, he'd be like, oh fuck yeah, let's go. Like,
Just
he would do it. He would do it just to fight an Avenger. Like he always talked about like he wanted to fight Hulk and shit.
hmm.
Maybe he wouldn't. Maybe I'm just like bullshitting. But
No,
like,
I mean that does sound kind of cool. I don't know. I feel like you have to convince him really hard. Like, you gotta be like just one movie, and he's like, "Is it though?" And you're like,
it'd be a
"Well,
very hard case to make.
yeah." And
But
then
I
I
don't
don't
know.
even know who the next one is. Like, where do you get the? How do you introduce the new Wolverine from there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I
But
don't know.
it's super interesting, and like honestly, I'm so like that's the best part about this whole conversation is like every week they drop a new weird ass piece of info that completely turns everything on its head
Yeah,
about like what
definitely.
is possible and what is next, and like
Yeah,
all of that is super exciting to me.
I feel like ever since the DC fandom event, Marvel's just been dropping like little gems every week, just like something small,
Yeah,
nothing crazy. And like, and speaking of Spider-Man 3, they just like started filming.
yeah,
Like
that's the rumor. They're starting either filming in New York or in Georgia. I've heard both.
it, it's yeah, and I'm sure they're filming in both. It just depends on when they go to each location,
Hmm.
but uh, they're going. Like this is happening right now,
Yeah,
and I bet that they announced this Doctor Strange news because if someone sees Benedict Cumberbatch on set, they're gonna be like, "Holy fuck!" It's
yeah,
gonna it's gonna leak, and people are gonna freak out that way. So they're probably just trying to get ahead of it and be like, "This is it. Like we're doing it."
yeah. I agree.
So very exciting stuff.
Hmm. And
Marvel doesn't give a shit anymore. They're just doing it.
yeah, and we're gonna keep an eye on it because I think that's
Yeah,
super exciting.
definitely, definitely.
All right, jumping into our last news story though, we got Robert Downey Jr. wants to create a cinematic universe out of his Sherlock Holmes film franchise,
Yes,
which
this is
I think is awesome.
weird. I think it's kind of weird that he wants to do it, but it doesn't surprise me
Hmm.
that he would want to do something like this. Um, it's been did it what did they say? Did they say it was 10 years in between the second and now the third?
I believe so.
Or it's
Yeah.
been 10 years now since it? I mean, obviously he's been playing Iron Man, but
Hmm.
yeah, I mean that's crazy. And they want to introduce like this universe with like the third movie
Yeah. Sherlock
when
Holmes
he
2
comes
is
back.
2011 for reference.
That's wild.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
nuts.
so to quote Robert Downey Jr., right? At this point, we feel that there is not a mystery verse built out anywhere, and Conan Doyle is the definitive voice in that arena. I think.
Mm.
So like, I mean, honestly, I think that this dude looks at the money that he gets from the cinematic universe payoff of the Marvel stuff because I'm pretty sure he gets paid literally for every single film. I believe
Yeah,
he's
he's
at least
probably
a
got some kind
producer.
of XF producer credit. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So for him to go and create another universe, which I think is honestly easier than you would think.
Yeah,
Like,
especially with an established like thing
yeah,
like this.
because
Like,
also I think that the second Sherlock Holmes movie isn't great,
mhm.
but it's still really good. And the first
Yeah,
one's
and people
great.
still enjoyed it.
Like I
Like,
don't think either of them miss, and especially
no,
like with the success, and this is obviously wouldn't be a part of the universe, but like the relative success of Enola Holmes on Netflix,
Mhm.
like you get your Sherlock film that's mystery, and then you get an Enola Holmes mystery film, and
yeah,
then I'm sure Jude Law would love to have his own Watson film.
yeah.
Like,
I was thinking that too. I was like, all right, so how are we doing multiple different characters? Like, it's got to be a Watson movie, and they're definitely just gonna tie the Enola Holmes in at this
yeah,
point.
I mean, giving a Moriarty film, doing something evil, like I think that's good. Like I
Yeah,
think
that'd be
there's,
nuts.
the Sherlock Holmes lore is actually rather large, and if you can tell compelling mystery stories, which I'm sure there's a lot of mystery just sitting in Hollywood, like good scripts that are just like, okay, whatever.
There should be. I feel like there should be more mystery movies. Like,
Yeah.
there's not too many of them, and like the most recent I could think of is Knives Out. It's the
Yeah.
most recent like mainstream mystery movie that kind of happened.
Which
But
like low key you could just plug right into Sherlock Holmes.
you really
Yeah.
could.
And I mean
But
like
like very underutilized genre.
yeah,
I
and I
mean,
feel like Robert Downey Jr. is ready to capitalize. And I feel like again, he just shut like his Sherlock Holmes is great.
yeah.
And like how easy to secure films for yourself. Like does he need to work anymore? Probably not.
No, he
But, you
does.
know,
He could retire right now if he wanted
yeah,
to.
but I mean as much as, when you're a big name in Hollywood, you can do what you want. There is always the sense of
Yeah,
like, you could be on, let's say like David Schwimmer on Friends, right?
yeah.
Like you do 10 seasons of Friends and it's awesome, and then all of a sudden you wake up and there's like nothing to do and you still
Yeah.
need to be an actor. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then he goes on. Obviously, he does the Pacific or Band of Brothers. I think
Right.
the Band of Brothers. I think he's in that.
He did one of them.
Yeah, and then like he goes on. Like he's still working. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
he
I
did the
feel like
OJ show and stuff.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was good. And I feel like to secure a recurring role for yourself. You know what I mean? Like if I'm Jude Law, I'm fucking lit.
Oh yeah.
Like especially after that fucking Fantastic Beast shit with Dumbledore.
Oh yeah.
No one wants that anymore. J.K. Rowling's a fucking rat.
She screwed it up.
Yeah, honestly, it sucks so much because like
Yeah.
she says these terrible things, and now all of a sudden nobody wants to see those movies. Which like she is, obviously the overlord, like she's the writer, and
It is
like,
her property.
But there's
Yeah.
also like all these people that need that movie. Like Jude Law needs the fucking movie.
Yeah.
fucking-
Everybody involved needs
Yeah,
that movie.
Newt
It's like, bro.
Scamander or whatever, Eddie Redmayne. Like my boy fucking needs that film. No cap.
Newt Salamander.
Yeah, fucking big salamander. Oh god.
No, honestly though that does suck because the first Fantastic Beast was really fucking good,
Yeah.
and then the second one they just fucking they dumpster fired it, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
god, what a
God.
mess that was.
I can't believe his name is actually Newt Scamander.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
never really thought about it until you just said Newt Salamander, and now I'm like, oh fuck, that's so stupid. It's so stupid.
he's a cool character though. I like
I
him.
mean, he's a great character. I like all the actors in that film.
Yeah, seriously,
like-
especially the actors who aren't like huge actors, like
Yeah.
his who owns like the bread, like
Hmm.
I can't remember everyone's name in the movie, but like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like all the actors are really fucking good, and all the characters are really fucking good, and
Yeah.
it just botched. They
God.
botched it
Even Ezra Miller's in there. That was the only work he was ever gonna get because fucking
because he
Flash isn't
punched
happening.
some girl in the store.
Yeah, that was
Oh
terrible.
my god.
Oh god. Yeah. So anyway,
Um,
Jude Law is probably psyched. He's gonna get to do more Watson shit. And like honestly, this is probably like outside of the Sherlock show on BBC. Like these guys are my favorite Sherlock and Watson, 100%.
Yeah. I know like the Benedict Cumberbatch is like he's got a huge following.
Yeah, it's good
But,
in a
like,
different way.
Yeah, it's just different. It's a different style.
Yeah, I actually in Enola Holmes, which is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Sherlock is played by Henry Cavill, and I actually really like that as well. I think the dude who plays
Yeah.
Mycroft, I think that's like he's kind of dumb, but
Mhm.
also to me, Mycroft is like the BBC version. Like he's like an agent of the British government. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in
Right.
in Enola Holmes, he's just a dick. And, like that's really
I haven't seen the Enola Holmes movie yet.
it is
but it is-
surprisingly good.
It's on my list. I heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah.
When it came out.
Yeah, Millie
But,
Bobby Brown, great job.
Yeah. I that movie was set up for success.
Yeah, I
Millie
agree.
Bobby Brown's good. Henry Cavill is good. And Henry Cavill has to keep proving people fucking wrong.
Mhm.
Every time. Every fucking time.
Yeah,
So-
I think he's getting real big. Like I think he's starting to blow up a lot
He is.
more than before.
Henry Cavill was demanding more money when he started doing The Witcher, and everyone called him crazy. They're like, "You're not an A-list," and he's just continuing to proving he's an A-list. You know,
Yeah, I think
Love
he
it.
is.
love to see it.
Great actor.
Love to see it.
Yeah. So anyway,
But
very excited. I like spooky. I feel like they kind of did this with Scooby Doo with the who wrote those? It's not Seth Green. He's in it.
uh,
Oh my god,
I-
it's the fucking Guardians guy.
James Gunn.
James Gunn, thank you.
He did the second one.
Yeah,
I don't know if he did the first.
That's true. But like I like those, and like I feel like that's the closest we get, right? We got like the animated spooky verse of Scooby Doo.
That's true.
But like they also change like art style and like they change. I don't want to say the lore, but you know what I mean. Like they always change it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And I'm just excited. I like Robert Downey Jr. Like Jude Law. Like to see where it's going.
Yeah, this is a good universe setup, and like realistically, like Robert Downey Jr. knows what he's doing. Like he did it for 10 years, and he was very close to the upper, like the executives and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I don't think that this has a lot of opportunity to fail. The only thing I would say is as long as the third has to succeed, but I don't think it'll have a problem succeeding.
No, I agree. I think if Robert Downey Jr. takes the time and like looks it over, I don't think he would put out something bad.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But,
so that I believe covers it for the news this week. We will obviously get back to news next week. But now we have a brilliant film. A film that every time I watch it, it's like, damn, that's fucking awesome.
So low key, I would consider it a cult classic, but you may very well be able to call this a classic.
It's just a straight up classic.
It is low key.
Yeah, and that obviously we were talking about Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
That's right. Edgar Wright, baby.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about it. I genuinely think that this is his best film.
That is
I said
it may be a hot take right there, but it's you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong here on that.
I think this is better than Baby Driver. That's obviously it's my personal opinion.
I think it's more unique than Baby Driver.
Yeah, that's I think what part of the sell is, right? Like it's just so much, it's so stylized. It's just like, it's beautiful. Like it's just awesome. Like it's in the world. It sells it perfectly. It's got the same, I think, kind of wit as Baby Driver does, which is like that Edgar Wright flair. It's got really great music.
I have to say, it's Edgar Wright's dialogue is it's a wit on another level, I would say.
Yeah.
I think that he masters that like wit and like quippiness like better than most people in Hollywood right now. Like he has a very good dialogue, and it's funny.
Yeah, very unique style.
Yep.
Damn.
And I just like, I don't know. The editing is different. Like the transitions between scenes is crazy. Like no one else does it.
Yeah,
like that.
Super comic booky, which is obviously
from the book.
Yeah, it's on to the Scott Pilgrim comic book series.
I think this is it. It's the perfect combination between a live action mixed with, showing like a quirky comic book, while also staying in the theme of like a video game.
Yeah, I think honestly it does the best job for any comic book movie of like still being a comic, if that makes sense. Because and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm trying to remember which Hulk does it, but one of the Hulk films straight up, like when they go to transition scenes, they zoom out almost to like the page of a comic book, and then they zoom back in.
Yeah, I remember that.
And like
I don't remember which one, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, which is like it's stupid, right? Like it doesn't work. But
yeah, it's too on the nose.
Yeah,
it's too on the nose.
They're trying to like remind you that it is a comic book thing. You know what I mean? It's like when you watch like a video game based film, and they do like a first person scene, and it's just terrible. But they're like, it's because it's the game.
Yeah,
like this movie has the best blend of it, where it does not actually feel at all like
it's not too much in your face, and a lot of that lies in the cinematography and like the way that they shot it. And there's some panning shots in the movie where like the camera's just like on a dolly flat, like it's not like twisting or anything. It's just panning across a room with just moving on a cart. Yeah, and it looks like a large panel. Like the way the shot is framed, it looks like a comic book panel. But it's not in your face of like it doesn't have a comic book panel frame. It's not like sketched like that. It's just like the way the scene's laid out, the way the shot's laid out, and the way that they shot it. And that goes with the transitions as well, like the way that they do wipes, people walking in front of the camera. The way that like there's the shot with he's like he's in, I don't remember where it is, but it's like the band member like comes in from like the side
Yeah.
of like the shot, and he's like Scott, and then like all of a sudden it like cuts to like a wider angle, and like they're in the garage
Yeah,
in
like
the
rips
band.
him back.
Yeah, like rips him out of the scene, but like from a different place. Like that's so like that just feels like comic bookish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like he's coming from another panel,
Yeah, it's
but like
great.
it's not in your face, and it's like really done, really really well.
Yeah. There's a
Super
lot of
cool.
great transitions in this, especially like my favorite one is when he goes to the Michael Cera goes to the bathroom, and then when he goes to open the door again, he's like in a totally different place, but it's like a continuous take.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah,
was sick. That was a great shot.
yeah. And like the when he's walking home, is it Knives, his first girlfriend?
Yeah, Knives
Like
Chow.
yeah, and they're walking home, and like the conversation is happening throughout like multiple locations, and it just like seamlessly is like cutting through all the locations, like
Hmm.
so sick, like so sick to like show like
Yeah,
just like
he's
the
just kind of
afternoon,
like
and like
moving.
yeah, it's just moving, but it's like the same conversations happening everywhere, you know, like it's
Hmm.
so fucking cool. Like it like Edgar Wright is, and this shows in a lot of his work, like it shows in Baby Driver too. Like you could tell when he's directing
Hmm.
and when he's making his films, like he is constantly thinking about the editing and how he's going to cut it.
Yeah, it's
Like
crazy.
he has it all laid out in his head, and that's like so impressive because when you have editing like this happening, it's like that's not easy to think about
Hmm.
when you're like in there in person, like shooting it. Like it's really, really impressive stuff,
Yeah.
and it just it cements like his uniqueness as a filmmaker. Like
Hmm.
it like to this day, it amazes me that like Marvel let him go and didn't let him do Ant-Man because he would have done a fucking great. Can you imagine Ant-Man made by Edgar Wright?
He's
That'd be
probably trying to
insane.
do something too crazy.
It probably was. They were probably like, "This doesn't make sense," but he probably was like, "It would make sense if you saw it." Like,
Yeah, I think if you gave him, or if you give Marvel like another like 5 years, like if you put it today, I think they'd give it to him in a second. You know what I mean?
hmm
But I feel like now we're just too far gone. It just wasn't the right time.
yeah,
But
definitely.
obviously, then he went on to go do Baby Driver. So like
Yeah,
that was
another
also
low
sick.
key little cult classic out there. Another one.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just like I think they're both great films. Obviously, I
Yeah,
just think this film has so much more like style to it,
yeah,
and it just also like obviously it has a bit more of a appealing like plot line to me than I guess robbing banks and fast cars.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like
definitely.
the music in this is sick. Like I don't know, everything about it is so cool. We got great actors. Like we got Michael Cera
Yep.
and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Great actors. We got
Everybody's
freaking
fucking great in this movie.
yeah. We got Chris Evans in the back.
Oh yeah.
Freaking, we got Aubrey Plaza's in here for a little bit. Brie Larson's in it.
Yep.
Freaking who else is in this that's good? I'm trying to think. Oh god, I know somebody else shows up that's good.
I think this movie also came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it
Did
did
it?
definitely.
That's insane. We're fucking old.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
God. All I can think of is yeah, it was just a good movie. I'm thinking it is a little dated. They say they make some jokes about Knives Chow. That's like it's like okay, all right,
Well, also, like the
but
plot is like, uh, Scott is like 23, and like Knives Chow is like 17. And it's
yeah,
like, huh?
he's
Like,
22, I
wait,
think,
what?
and she's 17.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
it is very. It's
what?
like Predator alert, but I don't think that was cool. Like, it's obviously not even cool in the movie. They're like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, yeah,
It was
definitely.
2010 was the thing. Also, his roommate is Kieran Culkin, who is brothers of Macaulay Culkin. Fun
Yeah,
fact.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sorry, now I'm just going down the list. Brie Larson, Anna Kendrick's in it. That's who I was thinking of.
Yep.
Allison Pill, who plays the drummer in the band. She's in Star Trek Picard, which was cool.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she plays the doctor on the ship. I want to see if I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
yeah, there's even like smaller characters, like the dude who plays, I forget what his name is, but it's like the guy that knows everything. Like he's
hmm
funny. I think he's on New Girl, and just like it's just so many people that you see in this film that eventually go on to have major roles in like other things.
Yeah, it's crazy to see like the progression of a lot of these actors. Like how they turned into something bigger,
Mm.
and it's nuts. Like
Yeah,
this
casting
movie was such like
multiple
a little like
Avengers.
it's yeah, seriously. I feel like this movie was like it was I get like we said like a little mini classic, but like it really developed into that. You know what I mean? Like I think it
Yeah.
aged really well. It holds up, obviously.
Hmm.
Like it is so, and like I've said this like a million times, but like it's so unique. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's one of those movies where like obviously they adapted a comic book, but like I think it reinforces the material
Hmm.
really well, and I think it definitely breathes like a new life into the source material because Scott Pilgrim blew up even more after the movie came out.
Hmm.
And I think isn't there aren't they developing a show now about Scott Pilgrim? I
I
think
know the video game is coming back because the
right.
video game for a long time was under just there was like different licensing issues,
Hmm.
but it is getting re-released this year, which is sick.
I feel like I saw something recently about like a rumored Scott Pilgrim like show was coming out, but
Hmm.
I don't know how true that is. I feel like maybe I just misread or something like that. I don't know
Yeah,
why,
I mean that'd be
but
cool, but I don't know. I feel like these characters are so iconic to these roles for me.
yeah,
Like, I mean, if we're being honest, like first of all, Michael Cera, great job. Like, I think he does. This is one of his better acting roles, in my opinion.
definitely,
I really like
100%.
him in this. He's really good in Molly's Game. Juno, I guess, obviously he's good in. But like,
Juno.
I don't know. To me, like this is a standout, right? And like, also for Mary Elizabeth Winstead, like this is one of the few movies that I think I wish she was in more stuff. And
I do
like she
too.
is in a lot, but like first of all, gorgeous, like just
Oh
great.
yeah,
And she's like
definitely.
funny, and she just plays Ramona Flowers great. I love her in 10 Cloverfield Lane, also awesome.
She's good in everything she's in.
Yeah, great. Sky High,
Seriously,
epic.
epic.
Absolute. I mean, like, listen, no cap. I mean, I'm sure we'll get to Sky High eventually on this show. It
Yeah.
it doesn't actually miss. Like, it's actually a
Oh,
good
dude,
film.
we we need to review that.
Yeah,
We need to get back to that.
yeah, it's gonna be very
Mary
good.
Elizabeth Winstead is fucking underrated.
I agree.
Seriously, she's good.
Yeah, I was
And
excited that she was in Birds of Prey this year, but I wish she got more like screen time.
yeah, did you ever see Birds of Prey?
No, but but
Yeah, she got
yeah,
undersold
from what I
big
understand,
time.
everybody kind of got undersold in lieu of Margot
Yeah,
Robbie just doing stuff.
that is true.
It's
But
unfortunate.
if you ever do see it, you'll notice Huntress just got like I shouldn't have even been in the movie, low key. Like,
Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, I'm just waiting for freaking what's it called? The show. I'm just waiting for it to come to streaming,
yeah,
but it's just
yeah, yeah.
sitting there in the abyss.
HBO Max. That's
Yay!
where it'll be. Oh my god.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, if I mean everyone who's listening now, I'm sure has seen it.
Yeah.
But tell your friends. Like I don't know. I really love this movie, and I think like if you're a gamer or like a comic book person or someone who just really likes like Edgar Wright's unique style, I think
Yeah.
this is just a great film.
All around.
Hmm.
All around. It is full on 100 like pedal to the floor nerd culture,
Yeah.
and they just knock it out of the park. They
Hmm.
really fucking do. And it's you won't see another film like this.
Yeah, I
Like
agree. It's very unique.
it is super unique, and it literally like you might be able to say like this movie came out and like people try to copy Edgar Wright's style, and nobody has done it and nobody can do it
Hmm.
because it's his, you know,
Yeah.
like. And I think he reinforces that with Baby Driver when that came out too. Like he kind of just hits the mark again, not in the same way, but like just like his style, like it just it's good. It's just fucking good.
Yeah. I think it's a very similar. Like the music plays a very big role. I think in both of these films.
The sound design is insane. Like uh I was watching a fucking video on this like long fucking time ago, but like the use of like video game like
Sound
sound
effects. Yeah.
effects and sound noises on like certain shit, like when a door opens, it's like the
Yeah.
Zelda
It's just the
door
small
opening.
stuff.
It's like small little shit. It's like, oh fuck, like that's insane.
Yeah, it really helps build the film.
Super like attention to detail,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome to see. Love it.
Yeah, I agree. All right. I think we are coming close to time here. So, do you have any final
Yeah.
thoughts that you want to share? Or,
Uh, just watch the movie if you haven't seen it.
yeah, right. No, like,
I mean,
if you've
it's
seen
hard to
it,
say.
awesome. Like, if you've
Yeah,
seen it, you agree. I feel like it's just such a great film. It's like less to
seriously.
even, I don't know. Like, I agree. Like, it's just so, like, the sound effects, the way that when he kills somebody, like, they break into arcade coins.
Yeah,
Like, it's just,
yeah,
it's so interesting because obviously it's about a comic book that's low key about a video game. And it's
yeah,
like the way that Edgar Wright just channels all of that to make it, instead of being like a mess, like it would just be a Frankenstein's monster of everything. It really feels like its own unique thing
yeah,
that really hasn't been replicated in cinema in a good way.
yeah.
So,
I don't know if
yeah,
it ever will be, but it is a testament to Edgar Wright's skill and his talent.
yeah. I think
So
the closest anybody could have ever gotten was probably with Ready Player One, but they just took such a
yeah,
weird and different direction with that
very
it
true.
ended up nowhere near the plot of the book.
Hmm.
Which, I mean, not to say it's not a bad film, like a good film. I think it's interesting, but it's not as good as the book, definitely.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
would.
I don't know. Maybe Edgar Wright should have directed that.
I wonder if they ever offered him. I feel like they. I feel like he definitely. I feel like he would have been on a short list.
Hmm.
I
You'd
don't
hope
know.
so.
They got Spielberg, so they probably were like, "We're set. We're fine."
Yeah. I mean, this could also be a topic eventually. We already picked our topic for next week.
Hmm.
But I feel like Spielberg. Like I was talking to my dad about it because
Hmm.
we were talking about West Side Story and how the new one's coming out, and he was like,
Right.
"Oh, like that's gonna be awesome." And I'm like, I don't know. Like I really feel
Mhm.
like Spielberg recently has not done anything good.
Yeah,
You know what I
recently
mean?
it's
Like
been
Big
very hit or
Friendly
miss for him.
Giant. Like, ugh.
Yeah, no. You mean BFG?
Yeah, but like, see, that's so stupid. They call it BFG, but then like anybody that plays games seriously plays Doom, and Doom has a BFG, which is a big fucking gun. And like that's all I can think of when I watch, like when I see that, and it's just so yeah, like they botched it. Bad idea.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, we're kind of coming up on time here. So for everybody that's out there, thank you for sticking around.
Hmm.
I feel like thank you for bearing with us as we just continually say in a circle that Scott Pilgrim is awesome. But it is. I just feel like that's how it had to be.
It's
If you
just great.
guys, what are you gonna say?
It's just great stuff.
Yeah,
All right.
it really is.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright just kills it. But if you guys have any thoughts, maybe we're way off base and you think this movie sucks, leave it down in the comments, and then I'll ban you from the channel.
That's right. You're getting blocked.
No, but I would love to hear an opinion. Either way, if you guys have any. And as
Yeah,
always, like, share, subscribe, send it to your friends. Next
please
week,
do.
we are going to be covering a interesting topic, moving off of the Doctor Strange in Spider-Man 3. We are going to be answering two questions. They kind of interlace with each other, and that is who is the best Spider-Man as an actor, and
Hmm.
who or what film is the best Spider-Man film, which
Right.
more than likely will coincide with this is the best film and the best actors in the film, right? But
Exactly. I think that's
we,
the point of the topic is like pick the best Spider-Man film out of all of them, and also that includes Into the Spider-Verse.
yeah,
But why is it the best? And if it's the best, then it must have the best actor who plays Spider-Man because it's the best.
maybe I feel like there's a case to be made, but we can make it next week.
Yeah,
So
we'll dive into it next week. But I think that's going to be really fun.
yeah.
We're in the Spider-Man mode, so
All right. Well, this has been Cinema Scrutiny. Like I said, you better hit that like button. You better subscribe.
subscribe.
Yeah, tell your friends. That's how we grow. That's the best way to grow. And then, we're really excited. Obviously, I think the show's been, like Billy says every week, we got nice steady numbers.
We do.
And
It's
it's great.
it's really nice to see, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one.